This is an audio version of the Sunday school lesson for November 6, 2022. Paul before King Agrippa, Acts chapter 26, verses 19 through 32. Please help me make this a successful audio ministry by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Thank you in advance for your support. Paul before King Agrippa, Acts chapter 26, verses 19 through 32. Keep in mind, but Paul replied, I am not insane, most excellent Festus. What I am saying is the sober truth. Acts chapter 26, verse 25, New Living Translation. Verse 19. And so, King Agrippa, I obeyed that vision from heaven. Verse 20. I preached first to those in Damascus, then in Jerusalem, and throughout all Judea, and also to the Gentiles, that all must repent of their sins and turn to God, and prove they have changed by the good things they do. Verse 21. Some Jews arrested me in the temple for preaching this, and they tried to kill me. Verse 22. But God has protected me right up to this present time, so I can testify to everyone, from the least to the greatest. I teach nothing except what the prophets and Moses said would happen. Verse 23, that the Messiah would suffer and be the first to rise from the dead, and in this way announce God's light to Jews and Gentiles alike. Verse 24, suddenly Festus shouted, Paul, you are insane. Too much study has made you crazy. Verse 25, but Paul replied, I am not insane, most excellent Festus. What I am saying is the sober truth. Verse 26, and King Agrippa knows about these things. I speak boldly, for I am sure these events are all familiar to him, for they were not done in a corner. Verse 27, King Agrippa, do you believe the prophets? I know you do. Verse 28, Agrippa interrupted him. Do you think you can persuade me to become a Christian so quickly? Verse 29, Paul replied, whether quickly or not, I pray to God that both you and everyone here in this audience might become the same as I am, except for these chains. Verse 30, then the king, the governor, Bernice, and all the others stood and left. Verse 31, as they went out, they talked it over and agreed, this man hasn't done anything to deserve death or imprisonment. Verse 32, and Agrippa said to Festus, he could have been set free if he hadn't appealed to Caesar. Thank you so much for listening. Join me soon for the next audio version of the Sunday school lesson.